لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الله به الغمة وجاهد في سبيل ربه حتى أتاه اليقين. اللهم اجزه عنا وعن والدينا وعن الإسلام والمسلمين خير ما جازيت به نبيا عن قومه ورسولا عن أمته. اللهم احينا على سنته وتوفنا على ملته وأوردنا حوضه واسقنا من يده الشريفة شربة هنيئة لا نظمأ بعدها أبدا. ثم أما بعد. There is a paradox regarding the relationship between the rulers and the ruled. Is it that the ruler affects how people live, or is it the ruled, the people, the community, choose the ruler that they deserve? There are two theories here. One suggests that as you are, so will your ruler be. أينما تكونوا أو كيفما تكونوا يولى عليكم. So if the ruler is corrupt, then this is a sign that the people are corrupt. And another theory that says that الناس على دين ملوكهم, people are on the religion or on the way of life of their kings. So this theory suggests that it is the kings who actually shape or affect how people behave. Which one is true? It seems that there is some truth to both of them. Because as we have seen that corrupt rulers need some tools to stay in power. One of these tools is to corrupt the community itself. A corrupt ruler cannot rule a good community. It doesn't happen like this. And we have the best example of this when Umar radiallahu anhu became the Khalifa. The first khutbah that he gave after he was giving the bay'ah, and he became officially the second Khalifa of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said to his people, strong, powerful community, they said that when I do good, help me, and if you see me doing bad, correct me. And someone said, don't worry, we'll correct you even if we have to use our swords. So don't worry about this, we'll correct you. And this happened actually during his caliphate, when he was giving a khutbah and he was wearing clothes that double the clothes that people were given. So someone stood up and he said, we will never listen, obey you because you have taken double of the cloth that people were given. Imagine Amir al-Mu'mineen, Khalifa, is speaking and someone says, we'll never listen and obey because you got double what we got. And then Omar said to his son Abdullah, stand up Abdullah, tell them, respond to this. He said, okay, my father is a tall man and the cloth that given to everybody is not enough for him, so I give him mine. So that's mine. I give it to my father because he's tall. And people said, now we listen and obey. This is how a strong community responds to what seems to be a small sign of corruption. And a ruler who rules this kind of community cannot be corrupt, cannot go so far. But it seems that corrupt governments, corrupt regime, they try to corrupt the community. They understood that we cannot rule highly educated, intelligent, free people. So what to do? Spread corruption. Start with education, media, TV, movies. Keep people busy with trivial things. I was wondering that what's going on in Gaza, people are dying every day, and you see soccer games in Qatar or in Dubai or Abu Dhabi or in Saudi Arabia, and the people watching as if nothing happens. As if nothing happens. Because this is a big game. Everybody in the stadium, like, this is their life. And when they score a goal, they jump from their seats and so on. As if nothing is happening. Why? Because this generation, they grew up thinking of their soccer game or team as sanctified, as a part of their identity. They cannot miss a game. People got so upset and so mad when they lose. They got mad when the players or the coach but they don't get angry because they have no jobs or they have no freedom. They don't worry about this. So systematically corrupt regimes, they try always to corrupt community, keep people busy, give them drugs, and these drugs in the form of movies and games and whatever it is. Corrupt the educational system. So they are indoctrinated with wrong ideas. Think of the ruler as astaghfirullah, as a small god on earth. You are the best nation on earth. We are so fortunate that we had this ruler to rule us. And people grow up with these ideas. Like what happened in North Korea now. They think that they are the best of the best and the whole world is envious of us. So corrupt people or rulers, they always try to corrupt their community. And what also they do is that they hire people who are corrupt like them or beneficiary from his corruption. Quran talked about Fir'aun and Haman and Qarun and their soldiers. So the hiring is not based on qualifications, it's rather based on one thing only. Loyalty, right? And that's a big sign of corruption. When someone is hired in a sensitive leadership place simply because he's loyal to the corrupt ruler. And when these corrupt people stay for so long, they build what's known as the deep corrupt state. In removing the person, the top does not actually remove the corrupt people that he used. Fir'aun needed Haman and the wealth of Qarun, and he also needed the magic of the magicians. It was part of his regime. And this magician's job is to scare people. To scare people. So corrupt regimes, they need also some arms. And these arms could be the army, could be the police, it could be corrupt businessmen, and corrupt media, and corrupt scholars, or shuyukh, unfortunately. Religion is an important part of this, structure of corruption. And I've seen this. Some ulama or shuyukh, they say, قال Allah, قال الرسول. They look very authentic. But their number one job is to justify anything the corrupt ruler is doing. That's number one job. They can talk about little small things here and there, but they will never, ever criticize their masters. So when people are hired based on loyalty, not based on qualification, you can imagine, how this cancer spreads. Corruption spreads everywhere. Arab rulers are a good example of this. Donald Trump is a good example of this. Despite his racism, open and clear racism, unethical and immoral behavior, a great deal of people don't see any problem with that. And they chose him to be their president. So this is a sign that the community is corrupt so that they choose willingly a corrupt leader. I'm not suggesting that others are not corrupt, but I'm just giving this as a very obvious example. Military coup in Egypt just happened when the only elected president was thrown in jail, and the military generals came and they made this military coup with the blessing of the top religious leaders, Azhar and the Egyptian church. And many people out there were celebrating. So now we're saved. The army is going to take care of us. Now, 13 years, the people are suffering. And they're paying the price. So the power of the leaders comes from the community. Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu said that choose the weakest one of you as your leader who will do good, because you are strong. Even if the weakest one among you is chosen to be the leader, the community will support him, will help him. It's not the other way around. The other theory that suggests that people are on the religion of their kings, there's some truth to this as well. There's some truth to this. And we see in our history that there are good examples of people who were so righteous and so pious, and this was reflected on the community. Like Umar radiallahu anhu arda. When they brought actually the personal jewelry of Kisra, the king of the Persian Empire, his crown and his own personal jewelry, brought it to Umar in Medina. And he said, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I'm so surprised that these people will send this to me. It's talking about his companions, leaders, are so honest, and they did not even touch part of it. They brought it to me as is. And someone said, it's because of you. You are the head. If you are doing well, the community will do well. If you are corrupt, the community will get corrupt. There's some truth to this. And someone actually put it down when Bani Umayyah came to power. Some of them actually were so obsessed with building big palaces and big mosques. Like Masjid al-Aqsa, the Golden Dome was built at the time of Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. Palaces and big homes and so on. And then when Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi came, he was like a butcher. He was known as the most criminal leader came in Islamic history, perhaps. He kills, does not just investigate. He killed so many people, many good scholars. And then came Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, who was known as the fifth truly guided caliph. Khulafa al-Arba'a, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, and later on Umar ibn Abdul Aziz came and he ruled based on their manhaj, their methodology. And so someone said that in the time of Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, people used to, when they meet each other, they ask, how many houses have you built? How big is your house? In the time of Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi, when people meet each other, said, how many people were killed from your family? And when Umar ibn Abdul Aziz came to power, people used to ask themselves, how many of your children have the Quran? How much do you fast? How many days you fast every day, and how much qiyam you pray? So there is a mutual effect between the ruled and the rulers. Corrupt rulers, they need corrupt community, and they try to corrupt them. Because he knows very well that he cannot rule powerful, thoughtful people. That's why they hate intelligent people. They hate scholars who analyze things. So, guys, what's going on is wrong. They don't like someone to criticize them. They don't want the ulama who speak the truth. Either imprison them or kill them or expel them. And something we've noticed also in the news and in these few days, it confirms the fact that these corrupt rulers are so much out of touch with their people, are disconnected with the community. When Mubarak in Egypt was removed, we discovered $70 billion. He and his wife and his two sons, they have $70 billion. This is official statements, came from the United States and from Europe. $70 billion. People were suffering, trying to find food in the garbage. And when the dictator of Syria left, videos went inside of his palace and his house, his brother and his assistants, and people were so surprised. What kind of lavish, luxurious life they're living. They sold even the antiques, things that had been there for 5,000 years. They sold it. They sold the country to Russia, to Iran, and to others, while people are suffering, dying out of hunger. And they know that, but they don't care. Corrupt rulers do not care about the interests of their people. They know they're suffering, but they think of themselves like, we deserve this kind of life. This is, poor people are there, but this is their problem. Al-Quran told us this. The Quran talked about this phenomenon. The Quran says about Fir'aun, وَأَنَادَى فِرْعَوْنُ فِي قَوْمِهِ. He called out among his people, أَلَيْسَ لِي مُلْكُ مِصْرَ وَهَذِهِ الْأَنْهَارُ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِي. O my people, does not the kingdom of Egypt belong to me, and these rivers flowing beneath me? I own everything. I own the land, the rivers, the people, and everything. But nobody can dare to tell me what to do. أَلَيْسَ لِي مُلْكُ مِصْرَ. I own this. Oh yeah, he came through fake democracy, 99.9% of the people chose him, So, but they think that I don't lead, I own. Big difference between the two. These corrupt people, they don't think of themselves as just leaders, they are the owners. Because they are the owners, they can do whatever they want. No one should dare to tell them what to do. We have seen this in the history, in the modern time, the small level, the big level. So there is a connection between the governor and the governed, or the rulers and the ruled. What we need to do is to try to be a strong community, speak up, enjoin good and forbid evil. Because absolute power leads to absolute corruption. قولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم استغفر. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. عباد الله استغفروا الله واعبدوا الله وأطيعوه واذكروا الله يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم وذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم إنا نسألك رزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. اللهم أصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمة أمرنا، وأصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا، وأصلح لنا آخرتنا التي إليها معادنا. اللهم اجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير، واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث. أصلح لنا يا رب شأننا كله، ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين ولا إلى أحد من الناس يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين. اللهم انصر دينك وكتابك وعبادك الصالحين. اللهم انصر إخواننا في فلسطين وفي سوريا وفي كل مكان من أرضك يا رب العالمين. اللهم وفق قادة المسلمين إلى ما تحب وترضى. اللهم هيئ لهذه الأمة قيادة صالحة يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجمع كلمة المسلمين وارفع راية المسلمين وانصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر.